grace, and greatness. So we started talking about it earlier, and I didn't have a chance. I had to go set up my other social medias because I've been wanting to do that, and I just set up for the account here in the talk, but I realized, you know what? Why don't I just turn these on and see what's going on? So that's what I did. I wanted to check to make sure this is working properly. This is just taking a second here. So, how are you this day? How's everything going? How was your night? Did you have a great dream? Did you have a great night? Were you able to rest the way that you desired, or you know, are you still struggling to get a good night's sleep? So all these are topics sometimes that we talk about. Um, so just how are you? How are you overall? A lot of times we are so stuck on what is going on in life itself that we don't realize our own life. We don't realize how great we are. We don't realize how blessed we are because a lot of times it's just so much going on. Okay. So I'm just like, I just want to welcome you, letting you know that this is a safe place, for us to have our conversation. Don't ever really feel in any kind of way. And if you do, feel free to open up and share because this is about being, being able to freely speak your mind respectfully. And that's the kind of environment that that's been built here. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to get this thing to work here and it's just not cooperating today. Uh, okay. I don't know. Let me put it down instead. Maybe that way will work. Really? Let's see. Oh my God. Okay. I think I got it. All right. I just wanted to check the sound to make sure it works on the other one because. Oh, perfect. All right. We good. We good. We good. We good. All right. Okay. So we can continue. So today our title is Sacred Love, a relationship of growth, grace, and greatness. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kindness because I don't know, these technologies, sometimes they try to have a mind of their own. So what can we do? So a relationship is not a prison, okay? A lot of times people misconstrue what a relationship is supposed to be, and therefore they turn around and, misbehave, mistreat one another because they have their own mindset about what it's supposed to be, okay? So a relationship is not a prison. It is an open field where love, trust, and connection flourish. So, as you see here, actually not on this, but on YouTube, I do have the self-love workbook as the as the background for it, because a lot of times we're trying to be in relationship, we're trying to be with other people, we're trying to, you know, get involved in relationship. In the meantime, we haven't learned or we haven't been able yet to love our own selves. So this is why I put the self-love, because relationship is not just about relationship with other people. Relationship is also about your own self. When you start with yourself, it's easier for you to expand, to be better, to do better, and to grow from there. So, a relationship, again, it is not a prison. It is an open field where love, trust, and connection flourish. It is not a place to confine or control, but it is an opportunity to showcase the best of yourself while witnessing the beauty in another. If we see relationship that way, it would be so much easier to respect one another. But a lot of times when people get into relationship, it's always about literally badgering the other. It's about collecting evidence on the other. So, in case if things don't work out, then you know what? I'll have all these things against you. I'll have all these videos against you. I'll have all these, evidence that I can use against you, unfortunately. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, Shiva. Thank you. Okay. And welcome everyone who's coming in right now. You're welcome here. So it's like if we could realize that there's beauty in the other throughout the relationship instead of just that one moment. A lot of times people only see the beauty in the other when they're courting, when they don't know you yet, when they haven't seen the ugly, when they haven't seen that you're sick, when they haven't seen that you have some kind of other baggages that they were not aware yet of. Of course, if you don't know someone 100%, you cannot just pour out your entire belly to them. You got to get to know them, and then eventually you open up more and more, you know? That's just what makes sense. But unfortunately, a lot of times people always are, you know, expecting you to just remain like this perfect individual who just doesn't even have the right to go to the bathroom. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. You know? So it is not about bragging or dragging your wounds into the light for someone else to heal, but about sharing your love, your joy, your wisdom, your light. Okay? It's not about dragging your wounds into the light for someone else to heal. So I'm not responsible for your wounds. I did not create them. I'm not responsible for them. However, if you intend on healing, I'm here for you. I'll support you. But remember, I'm not responsible for them. Okay? And when the darkness does surface, may love be strong enough to offer grace. May patience be present to offer guidance, and may the connection be deep enough to help each other rise, not fall. Because a lot of times when darkness surface, I mean, talk about all is loose. People just want to run away. People want to disappear. People, because your darkness has shown and they don't want to deal with it. Sometimes there are people that are in your life, you even share one experience with them and they don't call you back and they don't talk to you anymore because you know what? They're not willing to hold on to that. They're not willing to help you carry the burden. No matter how much they were telling you, oh, you know what? I love you. I'm crazy for you, and they give you their burden. It's not like they didn't share their burden with you. They give you their burden. They expect you to carry their burden, but they don't want you to help to do, they don't want to help you carry yours. Okay? A real relationship is a sacred partnership where two souls commit not to own each other, but to honor each other, to inspire, uplift, and create something greater than themselves. Love is not a battlefield nor a burden, but it's a bridge, one that connects hearts in strength, truth, and mutual growth. So sometimes you might see someone's sharing something with you as darkness, but in reality, it could be growth. It doesn't mean that this is what, it's all about. It could be growth. So sometimes you got to have the patience to listen to one another. You got to have the grace to understand that, you know what, that's not all it's about. Let me give you some space. Let me give you some grace. Let me understand truly how this is working out. Okay? So, as I said again, a relationship is not a prison, nor a place of restriction. It's an opportunity to share, to grow, and to reflect the greatness within you to another. It is not about proving yourself or merely enduring another person, but about co creating something meaningful together. A relationship should be a space where your best self can shine, where you are free to express love, kindness, and authenticity. It is about giving, not just taking, about receiving, not just expecting. It's not about showcasing your darkness, your wounds, as I shared with you earlier, or shadows as a burden for another to carry. And instead, it is about sharing your light, your joy, your kindness, your wisdom, your care. And if ever the darkness does emerge, as it naturally does in life, may the other find grace in their heart to hold space for you, to remind you of your own strength, and to help you rise again. So sometimes it may happen that you do fall to the crack, but you're just hoping that the person next to you, that the person who promised to be there supporting you, you're just hoping that this person will have enough grace to help you rise again. At its best, a relationship is a sacred partnership, a place of mutual encouragement and growth. It is where love is not just spoken, but demonstrated through actions, patience, and understanding. So you don't want all the words, words, words all the time. Sometimes you do want someone to be able to demonstrate what they're saying to you. You don't want someone to promise a house and it's 10 years later. They promise a car and it's 5 years later, still nothing. They promise children and 10 years later, still nothing. You want someone to be able to demonstrate what they are saying to you, to demonstrate their love to you through actions, patience, and understanding. A real relationship does not chain you down, it lifts you up. If you could just keep that in mind, if you're not able to remember everything else, just remember that a relationship does not chain you down. It doesn't put you in a prison, but it lifts you up. A lot of times when people are thinking relationship, they think about, lock someone else in a room, or, you know, lock them up in such a way that they cannot grow anymore. While in reality, a relationship is what can help you to grow even bigger, even larger than life itself. Because the other person gets to see your potential and gets to encourage you and say, you know what? You're good at this. You're good at that. So let me help you get this done. Or let's get this done. How can I help you? Okay? So a real relationship does not chain you down, it lifts you up. Just keep telling yourself that. if you're going on a date, you're seeing someone, you're talking to someone, just remember that a real relationship, someone who means to be in your life, someone who wants to be in your life, someone who wants to cherish you, to respect you, to love you, they will not try to chain you down as the first priority of the day. They will try to lift you up. They would want to know, how are you doing? What's working? What's not working? How can they help you? But they're not going to try to shut you down. They're not going to try to tell you, hang up the phone, who you talking to, why you going over there, why you going over here. That's not what they're going to try to do. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay. Um, I am under the impression. Anyway, so, and welcome everyone who's just coming in now as well. Okay? You are not late, and neither are you early. Okay? So now let's go into the steps that can help you to have a more effective relationship. So when it comes to relationships, monitoring someone to ensure they are good for you isn't about control, it's about observation, discernment, and self-awareness. Okay? Here are the best ways to evaluate if someone aligns with you in a healthy, meaningful way. So hopefully you have your pen and paper ready in order to take notes, to take the steps down. So whenever you want later on, you can just refer back to them so you can understand what this is about. Uh, why is this doing it like that? Okay. I don't know. These systems are messing with me today. All right. So, one, observe their consistency. Okay. Pay attention to whether their words match their actions. Okay. Pay attention to whether their words match their actions. Are they consistently kind, respectful, and reliable? Do they show up for you in both small and big ways? You know, when your life has 10 people, do they show up? Versus when your life have 100 people, is that when they show up? Okay? You'll have some people who tell you, "Oh, I was occupied. They were always busy. They always didn't have time." But the minute your life is like, 500 people, suddenly they show up out of nowhere. Like, where were you? Like, I didn't even send the invite to you. How come you got it today? You know, what happened to every other time? So sometimes that's what happens. You know, people may show up for you in big ways. When you win the award, they can show up for you. But when you lose, they're nowhere to be found. When you're healthy, they're present for you. When you have money, they're present for you. But when you don't have money and you're sick, no one is there. So observe their consistency. Okay? Observe their consistency. Ensure that their words match their action. What they're telling you they want you to succeed, what are they doing to help you to succeed? Are they consistent? Are they kind? Are they consistently kind, respectful, and reliable? Because remember, if you're in a relationship with this person, you're going to live with this person, you want to be able to know that this person is going to be kind to you when you're not feeling well. You want to be able to be safe enough, to be comfortable enough to know that, hey, this person actually is respectful to you. This person, it's like no matter what's going on, they're going to be respectful to you. No matter what is going on, this person is going to be reliable to you. If something happens, if something is going on, you want this person to be someone that you can count on. Because you can a lot of times you're dealing with people, they're they're like I was saying earlier, you only see them when things are up to par. When things are perfect, when there's nothing to worry about, that's when you see them. But when you actually are in need of them, they're nowhere to be found. So you gotta pay attention to that and be honest with yourself about it, because it just doesn't make sense that people can be there for you when you have it all together, and when you need them the most, they're nowhere to be found. Two, assess their communication style. Do they communicate openly and honestly? What kind of a person are they? Do they communicate well? How do they handle their disagreements? Do they listen? Do they deflect? Or do they become dismissive? You have some people, once they make their point, they no longer have any attention for you. Once they hurt your feelings and drop all the bombs, they just keep it moving. In the meantime, you're expressing how you're feeling about them, how what they did make you feel. They don't have any interest. They just keep on moving. So, are they emotionally available or distant? What kind of a person are they? Are they emotionally available when you need them? When you're expressing yourself, they're there for you? Or are they far away, distant from you? They cannot make any, you know, they cannot have any support for you. Three, test their patience and conflict resolution. How do they act under stress or frustration? Do they seek resolution or prefer avoidance and silent treatments? Can they disagree without being disrespectful? How are they? So check these things, test their patience. Some people just don't have that kind of time for you. Before you know it, they blow up, they explode. They don't have time to talk to you. They don't want to take the time to speak to you. Anytime, like, something happens, it's like, what? Like, oh, I don't have time for this. Or they start flipping up on you, and you're shocked because this is not the person that you knew. The person that you used to talk to used to take their time talking to you. They used to be so kind, and now you're confused. What's going on? Okay? So test their patience and conflict resolution. Four, check their level of emotional maturity. Do they take accountability for their actions? You know, do they take accountability for their actions? If something happened, do they take accountability? Can they apologize and correct their behaviors? If they did something wrong, do they take accountability and then apologize to you for what they do? Do they ask you, not just like, oh, I'm sorry? No, you're a grown person. When you're a grown person, it's no more, I'm sorry. It's much more like, I apologize for what I did. What can I do to fix it? A lot of times people make their mess, but they never want to fix it. So, do they ask you, what can I do to correct that behavior? I hurt your feeling. This is what I did. What can I do? Some people don't want to do that. They just want to pretend to apologize so they could get you to shut up. And then they can turn around and be like, oh, you know what? It happened. This was the past. We're moving on. No, we're not moving on. You apologize, but how are you going to correct this behavior so it doesn't repeat in the future? So a lot of times people like to just, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, that's not enough, because I'm the one who's hurt, so I'm the one who knows what needs to be done. So don't let people just walk all over you and then decide what needs to be done. You're the one who's hurt. You're the one who knows what's best for you. Do they handle responsibilities well, or do they make excuses? If you need something done, I don't know, if you need the garbage out, whatever it is that you need to be done as a responsibility, or even a bill to be paid, do they handle it? Do they take the do they handle that responsibility, or do they keep coming with excuses? Well, why am I gonna pay this for? Who am I paying this for? How long am I gonna pay this for? They start coming up with all kind of 50,000 questions because you say, you know what, can you pay my phone bill on your way out? And they start asking you, well, what phone bill? The phone bill you talking? The one you the one you call me all the time? How about that? You know? Um, or do they start telling you, well, I don't know, I didn't bring my wallet. I don't have my card with me. Or why do I have to do this? Like people will come up with all kind of things. They will take you, they will use you. Okay? They will, if you give them access, they'll come to your home. They will eat, but they don't bring you any quality food. They will come and eat quality food, but they are not bringing you any quality food. They will come and use your body, use your mind, use your ideas for their businesses, but they don't have anything that they're giving you in return. So you have to pay attention to make sure that people are not just using you, okay? They're not just using you, but they're there because they actually mean to be there. They actually desire to be there, and they're actually there for a purpose, okay? Five, see how they treat others, okay? See how they treat others. Watch how they interact with their strangers, with other strangers, with family, with service workers. Okay? Watch how they interact with these people because that will pretty much tell you how they're going to be treating you in the future as well. Okay? So watch how they interact with strangers, family, and service workers, and whoever else is around them. Greetings, beautiful soul. Welcome, welcome. That was unfortunate because it was very interesting, though. No worries, no worries. We'll try again. We'll try again next Friday. I think we'll do it. We'll do it at 9 o'clock on Friday instead because it seems like the 8 o'clock we thought that was gonna be good. It's so early, so we'll do it at 9 o'clock on Fridays. That's not a problem. Thank you for being here. And today we're talking about relationship. Okay. Thank you, thank you. New York time, Eastern, New York time. Um, Let me see, what time would it be in UK? I would have to double check that in New York time. You're welcome, my love. So, um, watch how they interact, see how they treat others. Watch how they interact with strangers, with their family, with service workers. Are they respectful to them, or are they rude? Are they just dismissive? Are they just, how are they interacting with them? Okay? Because most likely, however they interact with other people, that's how they're gonna interact with you. Don't think that you're the exception. A lot of times that's where people become um, very hurt because when someone is rude, they think they were the exception. That's the biggest mistake ever, to think you're the exception because you never are. It's just a matter of time before this person becomes becomes to you exactly what they were with these other people, with this other person. You see that happens a lot with baby mother, baby father, baby daddy issues. You know, when someone else comes into the picture, they think they're going to be the exception. They think they're going to be, oh, the one that's going to bring the difference, the one that's going to make the person not be rude. But guess what? If this person can be rude to their mother, you're next. If they can be rude to the male person, you're next. No matter who they're rude to, you're most likely next. Exactly, exactly, Empress. They show you their true colors. Exactly. So don't ever think when someone is rude, nasty, to other people because they're nice to you at the beginning. don't think it's going to last. It's just a matter of time before you step on their white sneakers, and they will get at you the same way they got at the other people. So don't ever think you're the exception, because they're it's a matter of time before they come for you. Okay? Someone who is rude to others will eventually be rude to you. So no matter what kind of quality, what kind of character, what kind of issues that they have, whatever they are to others, they're gonna be like you, like it to you too. If they are nasty to other people, eventually they're going to be nasty to you. If they're rude to other people, eventually they're going to be rude to you. If they cheated on other people, most likely they're going to be cheating on you. They're probably cheating on you as they're talking to you, unfortunately. Whatever you see there with other people, they're going to be like that to you. Don't ever think that it's something that the other person did that they deserve what happened to them. No, no one deserves anyone to be rude to them, to be nasty to them. Okay? So don't ever think you're the exception, because when you realize you're not the exception, then it becomes very sad. You know, there was one of those celebrities. You remember that guy? I don't like naming, I don't like to do character. But there was this guy who was supposed to be the hot stuff. He was playing all these movies, he was doing all these things, and he was with this, beautiful lady, and, he dragged her to the mud and then dumped her. And then he went and took this young lady, much younger, and maybe at some point I think she thought she was the exception. She really thought he was crazy about her. She really thought all these things. But guess what? It didn't take long before he dragged her to the mud too. Okay? And I'm speaking of Katie Holmes. Okay? It didn't take long. And guess what? It was the former girlfriend, okay, or the former wife that helped her through it. Okay? Because she had pity on her because she was young. She had pity on her, and then she helped her through the process. Because sometimes when you're with somebody and you say this person is crazy, people think you're just making it up. People think you're just talking until it happens to them, and then they want to come and tell it on the mountain that, oh yeah, this person is crazy, stay away. Well, guess what? The ex-wife did tell you they were crazy, but you thought you were the exception. you know well, listen, like I was saying yesterday on my presentation, people always got it misconstrued because they think everybody needs to be in a relationship, everybody needs to be married. Everybody's not doing that. Sometimes some of us did not come. That was not part of our journey. Maybe it was part of it at the beginning, but it's not part of it at the end, you know? So if being single is what works for you, if this is where you find yourself, if you find yourself, therefore you find God, okay? So if you are at that level of spirituality, yes, that's where you belong. That's where it works for you, you know? But what's sad is that sometimes people don't realize that sometimes it's just not for you. Sometimes you have people fighting tooth and nail, trying to make it work, trying to be desperate after someone because they want it to happen. But at the end of the day, it's not for you, so it doesn't even matter um what you do. And for you guys that are on a different social media system, she said, I'm glad I'm single. Self-love is the best love I know. That's what she said, for those of you guys that are not on TikTok. And definitely that's perfectly fine, because That's where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable there, so that's where I stay, you know? But you're not gonna really hurt yourself trying to be somewhere that you don't belong or somewhere that's not working. I hope I didn't miss any other comment. Um, wait, I know. You remember that? Because this thing, okay, you remember that too? Because I'm telling you, she was never the same after that. She was never the same. And the girl aged overnight, okay? Because we're the same generation. And I'm looking at her, she looked like my auntie. You know? Unless she has like heavy makeup on, it's like she aged, you know? It's like I remember when we were like in you know, a decade ago. It's like it's like she was already in her 40s. And I'm like, "Wait, she's not that old. We like the same generation because I used to watch Dawson's Creek. That's where she kind of started, you know?" And I'm like, "Huh?" I'm confused. And yes, the girl was never the same after that. She was never the same. And I liked her because she seemed like she had a good spirit on her. You know, she seemed like the kind of person that would like feed their neighbor. You know what I mean? She looked like she was the type of person, you know, that would be there for a friend that needed them, you know? So not everybody's like that, you know? Yeah, very shocking. Very shocking, my dear. So it's just to say, sometimes some stuff are not for you. And I'm not saying this is not for her. I was just using her as an example because sometimes I remember when she was in that thing, she was happy in the sense of elevation. Like, oh, sometimes people think like, oh, I'm better than you, like things are gonna be okay. And she wasn't showing it off, but I'm just saying, she was proud. When people are proud because they think like they've made it, they think that when someone is telling you this is supposed to be the hottest man ever, and then that person picks you up, and not only they pick you up, they crazy about you, jumping on chairs, making a fool out of themselves because they love you so much. It's like, wow, who are you? What did you put on that person to make them so crazy? So it's a kind of a pride that you think you're good. You don't have to look for nobody anymore. You thought you were good, and then boom, something happens. Like, that hurts. But yeah, she was even in the movies that she plays, she's still not, you still like, there's something more, girl. You could do more than that. It's like all your roles are always going to be about a sad mom, single mom, desperate mom, ghetto mom, broke mom. Like, no, you could do more than that, you know but anyway, that's her journey, her path. She'll get it when she's ready. But you know, it's just what happens to people sometimes. I want you to pay attention again, see how they treat others because you're next. Okay? If there's certain things that someone would do when they go out with someone, and when you see they're treating the server very nastily, let's say that I was giving them an example yesterday. If you go to eat and you're like, oh my gosh, this glass is dirty, they should be able to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, let's order a new drink. They shouldn't gaslight you. Okay? They shouldn't gaslight you and be like, oh my gosh, how dare they? Oh my gosh, the table is probably dirty too. Or the chair is probably dirty too. They should not be gaslighting you. They should encourage you to just order a new drink because you want peace. Okay? So there's certain ways that a man's a man is not supposed to be. A man is straight to the point. Let's move on. A man shouldn't be just like you. If that makes any sense, okay? A man should not be just like you. If you're blah 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 blah, a man should not be blah 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 too, because you are not the same. Okay? You're not the same. He's supposed to be leading. He's supposed to be telling it like it is and move on. A man doesn't that is not supposed to be going back and forth with you. Well, you stupid. No, you stupid. You dumb. No, you dumb. You ugly. No, you ugly. A man is not supposed to be doing that. If a man is going back and forth with you, you'll just have another girlfriend in your house. You don't have a man. Okay? So keep that in mind. If a man is acting like that with you, look out. They're gonna have a surprise for you later on. Okay? And that surprise is in the closet. Trust me. So, number six, look for genuine support. Okay? Do they encourage you? Do they encourage your growth? Or do they feel threatened by your growth? You have some people, they will encourage you as long as you don't succeed. They'll encourage you as long as you're not gonna make it. They'll encourage you as long as your restaurant keeps failing. They'll encourage you as long as your life don't have people in it. They'll encourage you as long as your videos are not working. They'll encourage you. But the minute they see that, oh my gosh, there's like 100 people there. There's like 1,000 people there. There's like people are buying her products. People are doing this, people are doing that, and then they start switching on you and they start sabotaging you. So pay attention. Do they encourage you? Do they encourage you generally, or are they doing so as long as it's not working, as long as it's not a threat to them? You both wrote a book. When they see that your book is the one that's selling, do they still support you? Do they still encourage you? Or do they start complaining about how you're not supporting their book to be a winner too? Okay? And it's not because you're not supporting them for real. They're just saying that because they're being intimidated by you. They're being threatened. They realize that yours is working, theirs is not working, so it's not okay because it's all about them. It's always about them. All right? So pay attention. All right? Do they celebrate your wins without jealousy? Do they celebrate your wins without jealousy? Because a lot of time people are celebrating you somewhat, but they're being very jealous. Okay? Because you guys know, like, I'm in the cold, so you got to keep your heater in the house. Therefore, it makes me dry a lot, so I have to drink more because I've been feeling, you know, my throat all itchy. So, do they celebrate your wins without jealousy, or you know, um, are they genuine about it? Do they push you to be your best self, or drag you into negativity? Okay? Do they push you to be your best self, or do they drag you into negativity? Okay? So you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. She said no, they pretend to be happy for me. They pretend. Keyword here, pretend, okay? Excuse me. So that's how it is sometimes. It's like these things happen right in front of our eyes. We don't pay attention, you know? We don't pay attention that this is what's going on. A lot of times we just keep on acting like, oh, okay, that's just what it is. Oh, I see. But in reality, no, that's not okay. They're supposed to support you genuinely. It shouldn't be about as if you're in a competition with them. No, it shouldn't be like that. And this is not only about romantic relationship. This is even about your girlfriends, your cousins, your siblings. It's about them too. You see, people start acting real funny when you're actually succeeding. They start acting real funny when they didn't expect you to win. And then all of a sudden, they realize that you are winning. Exactly, Empress. It's that fake love. Yes. So, it's like they can have the good love for you as long as you're a failure. But the minute you're winning, fake love, fake love, fake love. Okay? So, 7, notice their boundaries and how they respect yours. Notice their boundaries and how they respect yours. Do they set healthy boundaries and respect yours? Do they try to manipulate, guilt trip, or control you? Do they allow you to have a life outside of them? Okay? Do they set healthy boundaries and respect you? A lot of times people are willing to have their own boundaries to protect them, but then when it comes to yours, they want you to back away each time. Every time they do something that's wrong, they want you to take a step back instead of you saying, "Hey, exactly, Empress. Exactly. Exactly." They don't I have to enforce them. Okay, you have to enforce them. Exactly. But sometimes um some people, they're okay with their own um boundaries. They want you to respect their boundaries. They want you to be there. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. But when it comes to their own, when it comes to your own, for them to respect your boundaries, and suddenly, like, they don't understand, why do I have to do this, why do I have to do that, how is this working, how is this not work, like, suddenly when it comes. Someone is inviting me to co-host. I can't right now. I'm teaching. um yeah, I'm teaching. I can't do that. So, it's important for you to ensure that, reinforce your boundaries. Don't let them violate your boundaries, and every time you keep backing away. No. you know do they try to manipulate, guilt trip, or control you? A lot of times you find people try to guilt trip. Why you gotta be so tough? Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta No. Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them guilt trip you. Don't let them control you. Okay? Pay attention. Do they allow you to have a life outside of them? Sometimes, some people, they want you to be at their feet like a little puppy. They don't want you to be able to get up and say, "Oh, Empress, what you up to tonight? Let's go catch that movie. Let's go to the restaurant. Let's go have a good time." They don't want you to do that. If they're miserable at work and they have to do overtime, they want you to sit at home and be miserable until they can get home. Empress says they can try. Exactly. And she says they don't like the fact you have your own life. And don't mind me if I'm like stuttering, because the I'm using the tablet, therefore it's laying down. So I have to twist my head to be able to read it properly. you know so exactly, they don't like that. Sometimes people are that jealous, people are that sick in the mind. They want to see you, you know being completely desperate. They want to see you completely sad, because it's just too much for them to just have to respect your boundaries, to just have to understand that you're a human being and it's okay for you to have a life of your own. It's okay for you to get up and do the things that you need to do. You don't have to all the time be at their feet, at their service. It's okay for you to have a life of your own. And I'm not saying to abuse your time. The person is at home waiting for you and you just go out, you know. it's midnight, you're still not home. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're still not home. You're not answering your phone. That's not what I'm saying, because that right there is disrespecting yourself and it's disrespecting your partner. Unless you have that previous agreement where you guys are okay with it, you know. But anybody who's in any kind of relationship, these are some grounds that you don't want to kind of violate, because it just doesn't look good. If you have that agreement with your person, they know where you're going to be at. You're going to this club or you're going to this party. And yes, but for you to just disappear on a person that you're with, it's not cool. I don't think it's cool. But again, that's not up to me. That's up to you and your person. You have to set the rules. You guys have to set the rules that you're able to tolerate yourself. All right. They don't understand your time. Is very valuable. Need to spend it wisely. Exactly. And even sometimes I don't even like to say spend. I like to say invest. Because when you're saying spend, it's light. You could do whatever you want. But when you say invest your time, it makes you think twice about where you are giving it to. You know? Exactly. You like to be proactive and productive. Exactly. You have stuff to do. Like, honestly, for me, if someone is waiting for me to be at a party and it's 2 o'clock, I'm still at the party with you, you got the wrong chick. I'm not going to be there because unless you give me a laptop, unless you give me a laptop or you give me like a notebook to get some of my work done, maybe I'll sit there. I might not be such a fun person sometimes because my mind is always running and I'm always like having ideas of the next book, of the next workbook, of the next, you know, workout, of the next, like I'm always like running ideas. So sometimes I might not be so much fun. It's not all the time I would be in that mood to be out and it's midnight, it's 2 o'clock and I'm like yawning. Every minute is like, and it's like, okay, when you're gonna get the point? Like, I need to go home. You know, I remember one time I was with a friend of mine, and then we already had like a long drive, and I was like already exhausted because I had a lot of work to get done. And by the time we left, and when we got to the place, I'm thinking like, listen, I need to go rest. Oh, my friend is having a party. Like, are you serious right now? I went to the party. I didn't have a choice. I'm like, like, where's the food? I ate the food. Then I just put my head, I put my head, like, I just leaned my head back and I just went to sleep because I'm like, listen, I'm tired. And I've already said that. If you want to, you could talk to your friends and try to put on a show, you know, Leo personality. You know how that goes. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. So I just leaned back and I just went to sleep. And then other people were like, oh, your friend is sleeping. And I heard and I'm like, listen, I'm exhausted. And I made myself clear. I already did not sleep the nights before. I'm working on a project. And by the time I was done, we already leaving for this trip. Okay? We did this trip. And now I'm thinking I'm going to rest and you want to come to a party. Like, anybody knows if you're doing a trip where you're driving, the minute you get there, you don't want to go do things. You want to go rest. Okay? Maybe if you were eight, because you got to sleep in the car. But listen, I was driving too. So, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to bed. I'm ready to go to bed. So, okay. Now, eight, trust your intuition. Okay. How do you feel when you're around them? At peace or anxious? Okay. I have tunnel vision when I'm on my mission. I know I'm the same way too. I'm the same way too. Like when I'm like when it's time to like get projects I'm like on certain projects, I'm like literally avoiding everything else, literally avoiding everything else, and eating is not an exception. Okay? The only thing that you'll find next to me is probably a gallon of water. Other than that, everything else is being neglected. Okay? Everything else is being neglected. I I shower, I mean not only for hygiene, but I shower because ideas come to me. I guess if I couldn't think in the shower, I probably wouldn't shower either. Okay? But since I'm Caribbean, so we very high on hygiene. Hygiene is a big deal. So I'm in there. But if it weren't for that, I probably wouldn't deal with anything because I'm telling you, anyone who's like, have that tunnel vision when you're on when you're doing a project or a mission, that's what it does. If you're like people who's like painting, writing, um even research, because sometimes I used to do a lot of research before, and that's how it used to be. It's like anytime you come and talk to me, like you annoy me. I want you off my ears, like just move, like you know, it's annoying. So artists tend to be like that, and that's why sometimes people think um, you're a loner, or it's very difficult to maintain relationships with others who don't understand, with people that are like very emotional or very controlling. Those relationships always suffer because the other person just don't get it. They don't get like you need your space. They don't get like, listen, I'm like in a I'm on a mission right now. I don't have that kind of time. I don't have the time to baby you right now. Like maybe later, but not right now. And sometimes some people who are very emotional, they will not get that. They will not be pleased, like your type of Cancer or Pisces. Those are very emotional. Those water signs who are very emotional, who want that attention, or even a fire sign like Leo who likes attention. So that might become a problem because you want your space, you know. But sometimes the other signs might be more understanding, but the water signs might be more affected because they want attention all the time. They want they want to be able to be in control. They want to, do all the things that you probably don't want to do. So trust your intuition. Okay, that's number 8. Um, how do you feel around them? Do you feel at peace, or do you get anxious? You know, does something feel off even if you can't explain it? Pay attention to your inner voice and gut feeling. So sometimes you might hear a voice, you might feel something that tells you, well, you know what? This is not right. This shouldn't be this way. This shouldn't be that way, you know? And you might get like a gut feeling as though this is not the right thing, this is not the right way, this is not the right person. And when you get those feelings, you gotta give them some attention. You gotta understand why you're feeling this way. Sometimes you feel completely off. You might not understand why you're feeling so off, but you just feel off. So if that happens, you need to look into it, you need to investigate it. 9, observe their actions when they think you're not watching. Okay? Observe their action when they think you're not watching. And that was a big one I was sharing yesterday. Because a lot of times it's not like you're trying to catch the person red handed, but sometimes you do have to give people space to see who they really are. How do they behave when they have nothing to gain? If they knew that this project is only about you, can they still support you? Or are they only able to support you when they know they have something to gain? They know that if you succeed with this, you'll be able to help them with that. You'll be able to have more people to make advertising for them. You'll be able to give them a space, give them a space in your place. It's like, can they do something for you, or can they do things for you without anything to gain at all? Okay? Do they treat you differently in private versus in public? So when you're in private, they're gonna dog you, and when you're in public, they're gonna act like they love you. Again, Empress, coming back to that fake love. Okay? So a lot of times you find people who in private, they get beat up, they get their teeth knocked out, they get their face knocked out. And then suddenly when they're in public, this person is acting like, you're the world to them. They're acting like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Oh my God, you're the best thing ever. In the meantime, are you sure? Are you sure? Because you're the same person who hurt me last night, and then now you're acting like, everything is okay. So, exactly, exactly, my love. They have hidden agendas. So maybe this person is with you because you have the image that they need. Sometimes you find that with certain careers, like people in politics. So I might date you because you look like the person that will help me win votes. You might help me to move forward to where I'm going to, or maybe you have the contacts that I need to help me grow. You find people like that. They target you. And here you are innocently thinking that you're being loved or you're loving or whatever. In the meantime, this person is only targeting you because there's something they're trying to accomplish. Okay? Do they change their tone when talking to different people? Okay? Do they change their tone when talking to different people? You ever have some people like when they're around you, you're the world to them, you're everything to them. And then when they're in public, they try to act like they don't know you. Okay? When you're in public, they try to act like they just met you. I remember one time I used to do my performances. I do spoken word and poetry, and I had a presentation. One of my friends was receiving an award, and I was there. I was performing, and I usually do that with the town. And this politician that I've known for years felt the requirement to be like, oh, I know her. What did he say? He knew me from online or something, but he was trying to make a point as though he didn't know me personally. In the meantime, this is somebody I have dealt with. I've been to their show. I've like they recognize me anywhere that I am. That I am dressed up or I could be in sweat. You will never catch me in sweats. I'm just saying that. Um, you know, like it doesn't matter that I'm volunteering at the park, helping cleaning or doing something or working with the children, doing presentation with the kids, doing whatever, that I'm at work. No matter where I am, it's like if they see my face, they recognize me by name. But for whatever reason, I don't know what transpired, this person felt the need to act like as though they didn't know me personally. But while he's thinking he was playing his game, but it was really God protecting me. Okay? This is why sometimes when people do things to you and it doesn't feel like what they did was fair or was nice, you know, um, but you just have to take it for what it is and believe that the most high will protect you, your ancestors will protect you. And would you know, it wasn't even a few years later, it wasn't even a couple years later, maybe 2 years later or so, this person was arrested. Okay, this person was arrested. So while he thought he was disconnecting with me, maybe like, trying to do his politician career, and maybe he didn't know if I'm a fraudulent person, and which I have a tracking record of good character, you know. There's no way that I would participate in any kind of thing that could, taint his career or his character or his connection. You know, I'm a person of character. I mean, I promise you. I know sometimes people say things and whatever, but I promise you, I was raised in a very Christian home, and like I only knew church, school, home. And that was the funny thing in Haitian. You ask anybody what did they do growing up, it's church, school, home. A lot of us, we know more about the country now because we outside of the country and we adults, you know. But growing up, they limit you a lot to outside because they don't want you to mingle with the wrong contact, and you become something that you're not supposed to be. So I was a bit shocked when maybe that's not what the person was doing at all. Maybe they were going through something. I don't know. But to me, I saw it, I received it as my own guides protecting me. My own guides made him say what he said to protect me. So people know I didn't have any personal connection with them. So they didn't have to come and investigate my life. Not that they would find anything, but I wouldn't want to deal with such a nonsense, specifically when I don't have anything to do with anything. I didn't even know they were doing those kind of things. So, but it was just like a funny thing. I noticed one individual only called me when they needed help. Yes. So I avoid them now. Their accent. The audacity. Yes. People do that. Okay. For those of you guys that are in different platform, she's saying that she noticed someone that was only reaching out whenever they needed something, whenever they needed help. And I know that story too well, my dear. I know that story too well as well. Imagine I do social work. That's what I do. That's not just what I come here to play around with. That's what I've done. That was my career, social work. So, um, so people, whenever things are upside down for them, they want to reach out. They want you to do all kind of things for them, but they forget that this is my career. So it's like if I were a chef, would you call me to cook for 200 people for you? And then you expect me to just cook for you and thank you very much and then go home? No, that's my career. I cannot sit around and play with you. If you need my help, you need my service, you're going to get my service. You're going to book my service. But I cannot sit around and be your therapist. If you need a therapist, go get one. This country is full of them, you know? So go get help. But I cannot be your punching bag every time you need to release. And you have to be very careful with that because people like that, they have the tendency of always dumping things to you. And when they dump things to you, it's energy. And all of a sudden you were having a good day, and now you feel tired, you feel exhausted, you feel like, oh, I think I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed. In the meantime, you have 50 things to do. What do you mean you're going to bed? Hello? You got a bunch of things to do. You gotta call, you gotta pay bills, you gotta move here, you gotta move there, you gotta, in the middle of stuff that you need to do, you will feel tired, you'll feel exhausted, you feel annoyed, you feel irritated. In the meantime, it's not your feeling, it's their feeling. They dumped it on you and they left it behind. When you deny them, when you're like, listen, I'm sorry, I cannot help you right now. I'm in the middle of something. And then they would be angry. They would be mad at you. In the meantime, have you counted, your grace? Have you counted your blessing? Have you realized how many times I helped you before? You know, and you're still going through the same things again? Like, no, thank you very much, but I'm occupied over here. I can't help you. Enjoy your life, you know? But people would do that, and when you notice it, you have to stop them. You have to stop them, And sometimes you may have to even tell them. Sometimes they already know, but you have to make a point to say, listen, I haven't heard from you the entire year. I never even heard from you like Happy New Year, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate together. You never even bothered. I went to the hospital. You never even called to see if I'm okay. I went for a trip. You never called to know if I made it back home. I went to help you. You never even called me to know if I got home safely. And now you're calling me again for help. Like, when do you ever build a conscience? You know? Sometimes you have to tell them something that can go in their system so they can learn from that experience. Other than that, they're always going to be back. When you don't help them, your daughter will be the one helping them. Your son will be the one helping them. Your husband, your parents, your wife, whoever around you, they will find a way to them. That's how abusive, you know, manipulative people are. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, girl. He was doing his fraud and then turn around and try to act like, he didn't know me. Guess what? But you know what? I hit him back too. When I usually was part of the team that did like big events in the town. So when he came in the big event, everybody was looking up to me to like, okay, what should I do next, doctor? Should I go do this? Should I go do that? Da, da, da. People were coming to me because I was organizing some other stuff. And then when he came, I just turned my back. I was being petty or I was being honest. I don't know. So I throw right back that same attitude. He came. I did not even acknowledge him. I did not welcome him. No, I think I acknowledged him because actually, wait, class etiquette. I think I acknowledged him. Oh, but I acknowledged him as if I didn't know him. I, I acknowledge him like, oh, welcome, guys. You know, here's what we're doing here. If you are a politician, I act like I didn't even know who he was. Okay, so I said, if you are a politician, you need to go this way so we can put the stuff on you. And if you are just a regular citizen who's being, called to be here, you need to go that way. If you are a volunteer, you need to go this way. And I walked away. And my friend noticed that, and they were like, "Oh my God, you got some balls." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" The man said he didn't know me. And then after that, while I was doing the parade, and he was running after me, and he was just like, "Doctor, what happened? Why you say, why you act like, you don't see it's me?" And then I turn around. I was gonna say something that was mean that I'm not even gonna repeat here. Not a curse word, but I was gonna say something like, "Listen, I'm black. I only recognize black people," because of course he was, you know. So I was gonna be stupid. I mean, I was gonna be silly. I was gonna tell him like, "Listen, I don't recognize other races. It's not because I don't want to, but it's just my eyes cannot catch." But I didn't. I didn't do it. But what I did is I'm a very good power walker. Okay? I'm a very good power walker. I was like, at the time still very athletic. So he was trying to walk fast. He was running and I was walking. Just so you could see the picture. I'm walking and he was running trying to catch me. Okay? So that's how that went. But I'm talking this was like, I don't know, maybe like a decade or so ago, a decade or 12 years ago. But it was just funny how that turned out. You say you're busy. Say you occupy because busy is not a good word. The etymology of busy is related kind of I think it's related to death or stagnant or something like that. So busy is not really being occupied. So better to use the word occupy or productive. Sometimes those etymologies are terrible. Not because the etymology per se, but it's just the word, I guess I should say. They throw these words in to kind of throw us off. Exactly, exactly. People must learn to help themselves. They don't like to help themselves because that requires action, that requires them to get off their butt and go do something. They prefer to use your time, your energy, so they never have to do anything. You hear from them, but it's all about fake love. I know, but at least you know what? The good part is at least you recognize it. You know it. You know when it happens to back away. Some people don't even recognize it's fake love. Some people are still giving their time, their energy to it, thinking and hoping that it's real love. In the meantime, it's fake. So it's a good thing at least you know it. You can smell it from a distance. The minute it's coming, then you can just like back away. Thank you for the gifts. You're rolling over here. I really did. I was just being pathetic. I was a little bit different. I was always spiritual, but I can be I could be vindictive, you know? Like I could be um shady. You know what I mean? I could be shady. Like I'm very spiritual. I was always spiritual in the sense of I don't believe in doing dark things. I don't believe in hurting people. I don't believe in being, like mad and like I just didn't believe in certain things. I believe in using your energy properly, but at the same time, like I for the number of the child that I am, it required me to be a little bit shady and very mouthy. So I was still that. You know what I mean? It's like when you say something to me, since I grew up in that private school arena, I grew up with the kind of parents that I never saw fighting. I never was in the environment where people were cursing each other out. So there are certain character that I don't have. You will not catch me standing on the street and try to catch a fight with somebody. Like I would just laugh at you and walk away. But if you come at me, I will defend myself, but I will not be that type. You know what I mean? So um, I just had my way. But when it comes to my words, I, you would be you would be more happy that I punch you in the face instead of opening my mouth. Let's say it that way. I will not say one curse word, but the things that I can say to you can destroy you in ways that Jesus would have to come back to build you, to sew you back up. Because people say things to you, they lie to you, you know, they lie to you to make you feel bad, but I will tell you the truth and make you feel terrible, if that makes any sense. But I don't do that anymore. I'm not supposed to. What? Don't do it, especially for these kind of things. Yeah, that's private. Don't let people use her account. Nope. Nope. I wouldn't do it. Why can't she do it herself? Nope. I wouldn't do it. Because especially when it comes to money nowadays, before you know it, she used your stuff. Next thing you know, you were connected with some kind of terror. You know the rest. And next thing you know, they're knocking on your door. You don't know what they're gonna use that money for, you know? So I wouldn't do it. When it comes to people using your car, unless you tell me you're gonna give me the money, you don't have an account at Costco or you don't have an account at Sam's Club, and you're like, I just wanna buy a tire, or I just wanna buy a cooking machine or a fridge, or you wanna buy food for your kids and you don't have an account. I understand because sometimes some people cannot afford an account. They cannot afford a membership. I mean, so I don't have that problem. I can go online, I order it for you, you send me my money, and I order your stuff for you, and that's it. Sometimes I would do that for people. If sometime like I could know someone who's become sick and they're like, listen, I can't go to the store, I'm not near them to help them. And I say, you know what? I can order your food for you. I have a membership. I have a membership just about everywhere. I like comfort. Don't judge me, okay? I have a membership just about everywhere because there's certain things I like in this place. There's certain things I like in that place. Like for example, I'll tell you straight up. Like I have the membership at Walmart because they have. I don't I don't really get anything from Walmart but the Caribbean stuff because they have like a Caribbean part or a Caribbean section. I just do that. I go to the Caribbean and I get stuff. Certain things that I want, I know that they would have it. For example, they have breadfruit frozen, you know. They have like the spices, some of the spices that I like. Um, so I have that membership. And then I have the Costco membership. Don't even try to talk me out of that. I act like Costco. I'm part owner. Okay. I have this thing ever since I just became an adult. So I have this thing all my life. Don't even try to talk me out of it. It's not going nowhere. I don't care. I don't care if I had no money. I will keep that account. Okay. I love my Costco. Although now where I reside, it's very far from me, but I still keep it because I order online when I cannot go to the store. I have Sam's Club, okay? Because again, there are certain things that I can get at Sam's Club. Um, my kid likes lamb, and I let him eat meat, some meat, but lamb is one of it. And what else? Do they have conch sometimes? Oh, I think I get crab from them, crab meat. Um, And then I get the rotisserie for my puppies. Don't judge me either. My puppies love the rotisserie from there. Okay? And then there's like a couple other things, a couple of Caribbean things I think they also have that you only find at their store. And I think I used to have what's the other one called? Oh my God, I forgot the name. And then I even use other things like Restaurant Depot and when you need certain things like that apple juice. The old one, the really good one, you don't find that in store anymore. So they have that. So I would get that. I can get the conch or conch, depending where you're from. I get that, the lumpy, I get that from them. And then my veggies, when I need to do legume, that's where I get my veggies from because I can just pick up everything and I'm planning on actually getting them, cut them, freeze them. So when I need them, because I like to buy things, I like to buy things wholesale. Because honestly, I don't like to go out every day and just like wasting my energy. You know what I mean? Like, however, it's out there right now. That's not how it used to be back in the days. You know. So, that's just how it is. Okay. You're welcome, my love. You're very welcome. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't let people use my account. Whatever you need, I would have to be made aware entirely what it's for. Mm-hmm. Yep, you can't do that. Let them be on their own. You can be petty sometimes too. I mean, sometimes it's not like you would want to be that petty, but it just sometimes you gotta let people know whatever I am is a choice, is not a requirement. So if I'm nice to you, it's my choice to be nice to you. If I'm kind to you, it's my choice. Just like when I'm gonna be rude to you, it's my choice too. So sometimes being petty, it's not what you want to be, but sometimes you just have to make a point. Because if you don't make that point one time, they will continue to abuse you and gaslight you. So sometimes you got to let people know, don't let the suit fool you. And I tell my clients straight up, listen, I do spirituality, but don't be stupid. Don't be a fool. Don't think that I can't do what you're doing. Don't think that whatever you think you can do to me, believe that I can do it to you. I make a choice not to do it today, but you don't know what state of mind I'm going to be in tomorrow. And that's why you find people 1 second, they're like, oh my gosh, she was so nice. He was so nice. I can't believe they did that. Well, that's what happened. You annoy them so much, they snap. But I promise you, nobody's going to make me snap. Nobody's going to make me snap. Okay? You're not going to drive me crazy to the point that I snap, that I don't know what I'm doing, that I end up hurting my family or hurting my friend because of your stupidity. No, I will throw your stupidity back in your face 1,000 times before I damage my family, I damage my kid, I damage my friend. No, I'll throw your stupidity back in your face. I will not do that. I will protect my family with whatever I have and what I don't even have. And sometimes, if people had a little bit more of that kind of loyalty, a lot of families would have been saved, a lot of children would have been saved, a lot of couples would have been saved, a lot of good friendship would have been saved if people had a brand of that kind of loyalty, you know? So, don't, I always tell people, don't try me, please. Okay? The Lord is still working with me. I have the tools, I have the tricks, I have the professionalism to do what I need to do, but don't push, don't try to get me to out of character. I will not act out of character, but I will act legally back at you. If you understand that, we good. So sometimes people will test you and they forget that this is a country of law. Before you know it, you will be in court. Before you know it, the FBI will be knocking on your door because what you said to me was a threat. What you said to me made me uncomfortable, made my life, made me question if I'm safe. So you put me in that situation, baby, I will put the law on you, point blank. And I will not care what the outcome will be for you because you put me in that situation. So I cannot allow my family to suffer because you decided to be stupid. Point blank. She used to say that I don't understand it. But she's a lecturer and she teaches students daily. That's funny. Well, when it comes to proper understanding, people act like they don't understand when it comes to accountability because you're holding her accountable. So she has to behave as though she doesn't understand. Whenever you hold people accountable, it's like they don't speak English anymore. In the meantime, they don't even speak any other language. English is their first and last language. But once you hold them accountable, it's like, That's funny. You can't make it make sense because people are funny like that. You got Costco too? That's awesome. I like Costco. You find so many things in there. Oh, crab meat. Crab meat. That's what do they call it? Wait, is that your uh no no no. I think it's shrimp. That's the sea roach. I forgot what crab is. I forgot. But there's a like they try to match them. You too, you can. Ah, this thing just run up on me. Now I lose all the comments. I gotta go back up. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I think I caught on. For real? No, people are funny. And people always like don't let people make you understand as though spirituality is about like, oh, hallelujah. Yes, everything is fine. Oh, you wanna slap me on the left? Here's the right. Slap me on the right. You wanna slap me everywhere? It's all good. Like, no, that's not spirituality is. Then they tell you when Jesus walked into the temple and he found people using the temple as the market, what did he do? He watched them and he said, Hallelujah, I forgive you. No, he pulled up a whip and beat the hell out of them. Okay? He pulled a whip and beat them. Because you know what? Enough is enough. So sometimes we play with people too much. Because you're doing spirituality don't mean that you're dumb, don't mean that you're stupid, don't mean that you're delayed. Okay? Doing spirituality doesn't mean that you don't have common sense anymore. Doing spirituality doesn't mean that you're gonna let people what do you call it, abuse your children in front of your eyes and not do anything. Recently I had to call somebody out, and I called them out so in such a way they did not expect. Like now they're bowing. Okay? Don't come for my kid unless you want to meet your maker. I don't play that game. So I responded to them in such a very direct way. And I always tell people, I don't threat you because what I said, I will do. Okay? Whatever I say to you, don't think I'm not the type of person that speak in the heat of the moment. Trust me, I'm a thinker, I'm a philosopher, I'm a writer. So when I say something, trust me, it's already been written, it's already been thought of. When I say it to you, it's a promise, it's not a threat. A completely delayed person, a completely disabled person, as if you're unable to think for yourself. Okay, it's back on. As if you're unable to act right, as if you're unable to think for yourself. You know, that's not doing spirituality is about. You could do spirituality and still be a normal person. You could do spirituality and still protect your family. You know, sometimes people get things so screwed up. You have to have common sense that if someone is abusing your family, abusing your kid, you got to tell them, listen, you're going to stop doing that or you're going to get out of my house. I don't care if you don't have any family. If you knew you had no family, then you had no business abusing my child. So if you think abusing my child is funny and you think that I'm not going to kick you out of my house because you don't have family here or you don't have any support or you don't have any resources, you must be wrong. You will be out in the middle of the snow and I could care less if you don't even have a car to drive, because certain things that people do, it's because you allow them. And if you keep allowing them, they will get worse. They will not get better. You keep protecting people. You keep allowing them to do the things that they do. They will not respect you anymore. They will simply continue to do whatever it is that they do. Don't think because you don't say anything, because you you just don't you just let them go with the flow. You just like, "Oh, you know what? Um okay, I get it. It's not your fault or whatever." Don't think because you're being forgiven, they're gonna understand you. No, they're gonna be worse. Okay? I like when people try me because they show me how they really feel about me. Exactly. Exactly. You can't take it for granted. If someone is treating you, they try to treat you silly, it's because that's truly what they think about you. They think you're silly. They think you don't matter. They think you're not important. So when people show you those true colors, stop making excuses for them, you know? Well, okay, let me give you another perspective on turn the other cheek, okay? Turn the other cheek is just to say I'm not going to go down to your level, okay? Turn the other cheek doesn't mean that I'm going to turn my head and walk away after you slap me in reality. No. Turn the other cheek only means when you go low, I'm just going to move the other way because I'm not joining you. But turn the other cheek, this is a perspective. It can be Someone else can come with a different perspective, but I'm just saying, okay, for the purpose of this conversation, that turn the other cheek simply mean I'm not joining. It's like if you're trying to gaslight me, I'm just gonna sit there and watch you stupid. I'm just gonna sit there and watch you silly. I'm gonna sit there and watch you dumb. I'm just gonna sit there and watch you sick. You know, I'm not gonna join you. But if you come for me, it's gonna be unfortunately for you. Call an ambulance ahead of time before you come. You know, it's like sometimes people will do things to you, and because you're on a path, you're trying to say because you're on the path, you're supposed to let people do anything to you. That's not true. It is not true. You need to defend yourself. You need to let them know, listen, I don't go for that. Don't come to my house and disrespect my house. Don't come to my house and think you're gonna disrespect my child. Don't think you're gonna come to my house and be mean. Don't come to my house and disrespect my parents. That's not gonna flow with me. Like, get the step. Don't disrespect my husband. That's not gonna flow with me. So sometimes you gotta be honest. Stop swallowing everything that people do to you. Because you stop them, it doesn't mean that you're not spiritual for that. Exactly, exactly. You don't play about him and he's 32. Exactly. It's like that's the part of spirituality people don't get. The people that are telling you not to do anything, they're the first to I almost said the word because these people are already damaging my lives by not sharing them. Um, why do these people keep requesting me? No, I'm not gonna co-host with you, my dude. I don't know you like that. Decline. Decline. Um, okay, so the people that are first to tell you, oh, just turn the other chick and walk away and make you feel like, give you some guilt trip because you're defending yourself, they're the first to defend themselves to the highest. Okay? They're the first to do things completely out of character. I'm not saying that you have to come out of character and hurt yourself and hurt your reputation. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to be prepared. If people come for you, you need to defend yourself. If people come for you, you need to do what you need to do. You cannot just allow them to just walk all over you because once they do that, someone else who witness it, they're going to do the same thing to you. And while this person is doing it, somebody else is going to witness it, they're going to come for you too. So you got to be careful what you allow in your life. I know, right? Exactly. I don't know why they don't call in my phone like, it's kind of like strictly business. It's like nothing happens. The minute like you're into something and that's when they call. But it's not so much their fault because sometimes I set up my calls at 10 o'clock, but it's not even 10 o'clock and they're already calling. So, but yeah, my calls usually open around 10 o'clock. Because sometimes when I'm working with certain clients, unless if they're different in a different time zone, where I might deal with them, 6 o'clock in the morning or something. But usually it's about 10, 11 o'clock. That's usually when people like to schedule. Exactly. You gotta do what you gotta do. You must protect yourself. You must protect yourself. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, silence is always golden. That's why you ignore them at first. Exactly. Keep going high. You ignore them at first, but if they come for you, if they come to bodily hurt you, you cannot stand still and act like, okay, something is going to come from the sky and defend you. No. If they come to you, if somebody comes and grab your kid, like I was watching this video, this person come out of nowhere and started taking pictures of that little kid. And the mother was walking with her child, and she's like, "Why are you taking the pictures of my child?" Oh, your child is just beautiful. So, but you can just take pictures of my child. This is not a show. This is not a public show. This is me taking a walk down the street with my child. How dare you taking a picture? That's so weird. But people do things like that. Ring the alarm. But as I play the song, right? Ring the alarm. Exactly, 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 Empress. Anytime that you speak up, they try to make you the villain. Okay? Anytime you defend yourself, they're not going to see that they did something that forced you to defend yourself. You've been keeping silence, you've been walking away. Okay? And then when you like, listen, Abraham said, enough, enough is enough. And then suddenly, when you say just oh my God, her name just ran out of my mouth as I'm about to say it, that you become sick and tired of being sick and tired. you know Once you say that, suddenly you're the villain. In the meantime, have you seen how long you've been bothering my life? Have you seen how long you've been trying to gaslight me? Have you seen how long you've been doing what you do to me and I haven't said anything, and now you want to come back around and act like I'm the villain? When did this happen? How did this happen? Okay? So don't pay them no mind. Just do what you gotta do. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you too. You're so welcome. You are very welcome, my love. I hope I caught on to all the comments. I think I did. Okay. And I appreciate you too. I appreciate love you. Yeah, so it's definitely important. Don't let people turn you into the villain. In the meantime, they're the one that was doing everything that they did. Okay? Don't let people gaslight you and then they want to turn around and act like, "Oh, you're the one who did this. You hurt my feeling." Really? How long you been hurting my feelings? Do you know how many times I couldn't sleep because of what you said? Do you know how many times I couldn't sleep because of what you did to me? Sometimes people are not honest enough to to face the truth. They just want to hurt you and abuse you, and then they want to play the victim. So if they want to play the victim, that's on them. That's their problem. And this is what this year is telling us. You know, like stop playing small. Stop dimming your light because somebody else is claiming to feel uncomfortable. If they cannot see because your light is so bright, then let them put on sunglasses. Let them put on a hat. Okay? Let them put on a bandage over their eyes if they can't see. Let them get a cane and tap the cane around and walk. Let them get one of those dogs to lead them. Okay? Don't dim your light because someone is not comfortable. Don't dim your light because they decided that your light is too bright. That's their problem. It's not your problem. You have a duty to ensure that your light is always bright. You have a duty to ensure that you fulfill the calling that you came here to do. Don't let people dim your light. Okay? So let's get back to our presentation. Okay, 9, remember, observe their action when they think you're not watching. So a lot of truth will come to you when people are not thinking you're watching. Like I was telling them, for example, if the person is coming home, if this is someone you live with, or if this is someone who has access to your home who's coming to you, and let's say they were running late a little, and then you hear that they come outside, go on the couch, pretend like you're sleeping, and don't cover yourself all the way. See when they come home, do they cover you all the way? Or do they just look and then they just go about their business? Put something on the floor. Drop something on the floor. I'm not saying like put water and make them fall, but I'm saying cause something to be a little bit out of place. Like maybe fold the rug a little bit. Fold the end of the rug as though, it needs to be fixed. you know, and see how the person reacts. Leave the gallon without water on the counter. See if they're gonna take the empty gallon, put it down, and find a full gallon to put on the counter. Like watch what people do. Do they try to be helpful? Do they try to be useful when they're around you? Because a lot of times people are around you, they don't want to be useful, they don't want to be helpful, they just want to use your energy, they just want to be in your presence. Since you're a popular person, since you're an important person, they just want to be around just so they could say, they were around, but they are not going to be around to help you succeed. So observe their action when they think you're not watching. While you're sitting outside minding your business and they come outside, they talking to the neighbor, are they flirting or are they having a straight conversation? Okay? So how do they behave when they have nothing to gain? Do they treat you differently in private versus public? Do they change their tone when talking to different people? When they're talking to their friends, okay? When they're talking to your family, when they talking to your family about you, it's like, oh, she's so lovely, she's so beautiful. And then when they're talking to their friends, I don't play that. You know what I mean? I don't play with girls, I don't play with ladies. You do whatever I tell you to do. I'm the boss. I'm the this, I'm the that. Like, what kind of a person are they? Are they honest about who they say they are? Okay. 10, see if they can handle your dark and light. Do they only want you when you're at your best? Can they handle your vulnerability, your fears, your struggles? Are they willing to grow with you rather than just benefiting from you? Okay? So think about it. Do they want do they want you when you're do they only want you when you're at your best? If you're having a bad day, can they still be around you? Can they still be supportive of you? Okay? If you have some vulnerabilities, if you have some fears, if you have some struggles, are they able to still be there to support you? Yeah? Are they willing to grow with you? Or are they the type who just want to benefit from you and then run away? Okay? So, as I said, at the end of the day, the best way to monitor if someone is good for you is to observe them, not control them. Okay? Listen, not assume. Trust patterns, not potential. Okay? The right person will add peace and they will add peace, not confusion. The wrong person will drain you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. They will leave nothing behind. Okay? So, with everything that you hear or that you've heard today, just imagine what aspect of the presentation resonate with you. What can you take with you? What makes sense to you? What works? Okay? Are you evaluating someone specific, or are you just talking generally with everybody else? You're just, if you're dealing with somebody specific, take your time. Okay? Take your time. Perhaps you just came here because you were just like exploring around, but if you got to sit down and listen to this, so now maybe evaluate somebody specific that's in your life, a friend, a family, a lover, whatever. Evaluate them, a coworker, evaluate them with that information that you were given today. Okay? So it only makes sense for you to better understand yourself, um, to move on with your life. You don't want to be all the time stagnant and stuck in the past. So, as conclusion, Listen, love is not meant to imprison. As I opened with you, it is meant to liberate. A relationship is not a place of control, but a space of mutual honor, respect, and growth. It is not about perfection, but about presence. It is not about proving your worth, but about being seen, valued, and cherished for who you truly are already. Okay? So you want to be cherished for who you are already. In love, you do not need to diminish yourself to fit in, nor should you carry the weight of another alone. Instead, you rise together, celebrating the light within each other while holding space for grace when shadows appear. May every relationship in your life be a reflection of peace, trust, and true companionship. May you know a love that strengthens, inspires, and sets your soul free. And if ever love asks you to shrink, suffer, or sacrifice your essence, may you have the courage to walk away, knowing that real love never binds, it only expands. Love, again, is not a cage, love is a home. So let me share with you some affirmation and declaration that you can take with you today. I declare that love in my life is freeing, uplifting, and empowering. I attract relationships that reflect my highest self, where peace and joy are natural. I am worthy of a love that celebrates me, honors me, and allows me to thrive. I do not dim my light to be loved. I am loved for who I am, fully and completely. Any relationship I step into will be filled with grace, understanding, and mutual respect. If challenges arise, love and wisdom will guide the way, and grace will always find a home in my heart. I choose love that feels like freedom, not captivity. I give love in its highest form and receive love in its purest essence. Remember, I will tell you again and again, love is not a prison. It is a sanctuary of the soul. So I hope that something resonate with you today. I hope that you are able to take something with you that you can utilize in your life, and be sure to remember over and over that love is home. Love is not a cage. Love is not a prison. Love is a sanctuary of the soul. So thank you for your presence today. I hope that what you're looking for, you get. May you have that kind of day that you probably didn't even thought was possible. Okay? So may you experience love that honors your soul and nurtures your spirit. And please open to receive those wishes, okay? May your heart be met with kindness, patience, and unwavering understanding. May you be seen, heard, and cherished in ways that make you feel safe and whole. May your love be expansive, freeing, and ever growing, never confining or diminishing. And if ever love asks you to compromise your essence, may you have the strength to choose yourself, knowing that the right love will always choose you in return. May you know that love is a sanctuary, not a storm. All right? So, again, thank you for your presence. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for continuing to support. Until next time, this is your Reverend Dr. Marie Brevil. Um, just thanking you for investing part of your day with me. So, have a wonderful day. And remember, love is a sanctuary, not a storm. Take care.